spirit sail. Every mark on this earth tells a tale. Every day that goes by without ever asking why, you believe in your dream. Close your eyes and believe in magic as I hold your hand. Close your eyes, believe in magic. 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 Believe in magic.
I do believe in magic. I do believe in magic. Hello, all you beautiful Earth Angels, wherever and whenever you may be listening to the show across the entire globe. Today is Monday, February 4th, 2019, and I'm your host, Shishi O'Donnell, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. I am a life, love, and relationship coach, divine lifestyle consultant, certified angel therapy practitioner, and much more, and you're now listening to International Angels Network. We're a show that explores angels, healing, metaphysics, and other empowering topics. And we are a live call-in show, so give us a ring at 516-453-9162. That is 516-453-9162. You can also Skype into the show for free from anywhere around the world. You will see a Skype icon on the Blog Talk website while we're live on the air. Make sure you press 1 on your phone keypad or Skype keypad if you want to speak with me, and then you'll be in the queue. So International Angels Network is now sponsored by Audible. You can get a free audiobook of your choice today by visiting audibletrial.com/International Angels. So I have great news. Today is a very auspicious day. Not only is it a new moon and the Chinese New Year, which is actually technically starting tomorrow, but it's also the 400th episode of International Angels Network. So I'm very honored to be on here doing our 400th episode, as well as my personal 69th episode leading as a host, which I've enjoyed. I've been doing this since August of 2017. And it's been a beautiful synchronistic journey. Spirit always sets up who are my next guests, through magical meetings and occurrences. It always makes perfect sense and it's in alignment. And I've had such an amazing journey interviewing some very powerful leaders, healers, musicians, conscious artists, all kinds of things. It's all set up by Spirit. If you want to be one of my guests, feel free to send me a message on Facebook. I'm Shishi O'Donnell is on Facebook, or Divine Guidance Readings by Angel Shishi is my Facebook business page. You can send me a message there, or you can send it to Divine Guidance Readings 444@gmail.com. if you want to be a guest on the show. So today we're going to be asking empowering questions that'll set you up for a powerful Chinese New Year. Yes, if all of you made some resolutions or had some ideas and you've fallen flat, guess what? We get a do-over. Tomorrow is the Chinese New Year. I always love that because I always make a lot of mistakes on my New Year's plans. And then by the time early February rolls around, I'm like, yay, I get a do-over. And as you know, there is no such thing as New Year's or time or anything. These are just markers we use as humans to give us a feeling of newness. And they're all arbitrary calendars made up by people. There's no such thing as New Year's or Christmas or any of those things. They're dates that we pick to have a reason to celebrate, which is why, like Poppy in the Trolls movie, I am one of those people who loves to celebrate every freaking thing. And you can find a reason to celebrate anything. Like one of my Facebook things, featured photos says, from now on, celebrate everything. And that's what I love to do. But we also have these things that we get to have themes. And as a culture, we're all in alignment. We all get to play along with the game. Oh, we're going to buy little red things in Chinese New Year, and we have a dragon. And this is the year of the golden pig. Hip, hip, hooray. And we have all these little plans and our rituals, and we have our traditions, and it makes it fun to be human. And it certainly makes the winter a lot shorter when you have things like Christmas, Valentine's, and all these special holidays to look forward to. But technically, you can make up any holiday any reason to celebrate any day of the week, anything you decide. But we're going to go ahead and explore it and do our New Year's, quote unquote. We're going to ask ourselves some empowering questions to start our new year off, as well as the fact that it's a new moon. Tonight, there will be an awakening and liberating new moon in Aquarius. And this cosmic energy is creating a sharp energetic shift that will majorly affect anyone who has felt stuck in that should I try harder or should I walk away limbo. And that may be either connected to love, friendship, family, career, or general circumstance. This new moon energy is going to move anything or anyone that is not meant for us out of our way, and it's going to move whatever is fated or the highest version closer, whatever's in alignment with our soul. So as this new moon draws nearer, which is happening now, it's a time to focus on balancing everything that we're putting our energy into. Are we giving or taking far too much? Are we pushing or being pulled too hard? Are we leaning in and leaning out harmoniously, or are we trying to force something or someone that just doesn't want to budge? As we move through this moon phase, be prepared for sudden but positive change related to anything out of alignment. So humans typically don't love change, even though we say we want it. When it comes down to it, we're creatures of habit. We like things to stay the same. But the only thing constant in life is change. And Archangel Michael is a beautiful, powerful archangel, and he loves to help people, give them the courage to make life changes so their life is more in alignment with their soul. It's pretty tricky because people, like I said, we don't want things to change. People stay with the wrong person forever and ever and ever because, quote unquote, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. And job situations, well, at least it's paying my bills, and we rationalize ourselves into the grave. I'm just going to do it for a little longer until this and until that. And there are many people who started a job that their uncle or aunt or best friend said, oh, why don't you do this job? Just offered as like a temporary solution, and 20 years later, they're still there. And, you know, giving your entire life force energy, the best gift of your life, your time, talent, to forward somebody else's dream, and you traded it for the gift of the golden handcuffs, which is that security of knowing how much you're getting paid every 2 weeks. Well, there's been a massive shift in light workers all over the world, and people are waking up everywhere around the world. Last year, from last March to this March, it's been a powerful awakening time, and really asking themselves, like, you know, what am I doing? And realizing you don't have to just live as a slave in this supposedly free country. And I know this is an international angel network, but this free world, part of that free world can be an illusion. We often give our own power away and believe lies and programming and stay in the same rut and give away our power and rationalize ourselves. And the truth is, it doesn't have to continue. Anything that is out of alignment, and how do you know if something's not in alignment? You don't feel good. That's your soul letting you know, Mayday, Mayday, you feel terrible, you feel bad, you feel depressed. This is your soul telling you whatever you're thinking or doing is not in alignment. So that's when you stop and you choose differently, different thoughts. You know, think something new. If you're in such a bad funk, you can't get out of it, you watch a funny movie, you do what you can to distract yourself and get into a better vibrational field. And then you don't drag your past into your future constantly. Choose newly. All we have is this now moment. This is our new year. Every moment is our new year. Let's choose newly. What do we want to create? So to start our new year off, I'd love to ask some empowering questions. And if you have a piece of paper or you have your notepad on your phone and you want to make some notes, I'm going to guide us in a little bit of a self-inquiry. First, we're going to release some things that you feel are not in alignment. It's pretty clear. What is driving you nuts? Is there a relationship you've been trying to leave for like 5 years and you keep rationalizing you don't have any other choices? Write these things down. The universe isn't going to necessarily take it away dramatically unless that is for your highest growth and evolution. Although that is happening nowadays quite a bit. People are having the rug pulled out from under them, and if you sit on the pot too long, or let's just say the baby bird gets pushed out of the nest. That might be a better analogy. So if you've been hanging in there and it's not helping your soul evolve, we're here to evolve and grow and to step more into that higher version of what we're capable of becoming. We're not meant to stay the same. Nothing in nature stays the same, and neither do we. It's all about growing and evolving. So you want to ask yourself, what am I releasing? And I want you to write down a few things that you really want to let go of on this new moon. And then we're going to create some new things that we're going to bring in. So just take a moment to let go of some things. So whatever things you wrote down, you can either flush in the toilet, you can drown it. You can drown it in the toilet, you can drown it in a bucket of water, you can bury it in the backyard, you can light it on fire. You want to fully release it. And now once that's released, you can do that after you get off this show, you can start writing, answering some of these questions. So now we want to move forward, creating our new Chinese New Year of the Golden Pig from the most empowering place possible. And what is the thing that opens the door to everything? The main thing is gratitude. So I want you to write down what you're grateful for right now. So ask yourself, what are you grateful for right now? And when you're grateful for things and you focus on those things, those automatically expand and multiply. Whatever we focus on and appreciate, the mind becomes more open and flexible to new possibilities. And whether it's something small or big, just think of something you're truly grateful for right now. What am I most excited about this year? That's the second empowering question. What is exciting you? That's your inner child. That's your soul. You've heard a million times, follow your bliss. This is it. This is literally what we're here to do. We're here to follow what thrills and excites us. This is not meant to be some hellish, drudgery, horrible game that we're trapped in. This is more like a Candyland game you're supposed to play. And sometimes you do roll the dice and you get stuck in the chocolate pudding and you feel terrible. And you roll the dice right away and all of a sudden you're back in the candy cane forest and things are going your way. It is an adventure. And it is a choose your own adventure that leads me into our next category we can talk about after this. But I want to talk about how random life supposedly is and how actually it's all set up. Yes, we have free will choice, but isn't it weird how things just seem meant to be? We'll talk a little bit more about that. So I want you to write down what you're excited about for this year. And if you're not thinking of anything, you're really not in a space of excited, you can kind of override your subconscious mind that's saying, I'm not excited at all, by asking, what could I be excited about this year? Okay, now I want you to ask yourself the question, what would the highest version of myself be doing this year? So if you were really truly the highest version of you, tap into that part of you that you know is in you, and I want you to step into that person's shoes for a few moments. What is it like to be that divine higher self version of you? What would you be doing? What would that higher self version of you be doing? I want you to imagine it and write a few things down. How does that highest version of you look and how do you feel? I want you to picture how would it feel to be you. I recently watched this movie by Jumanji. It's called Jumanji. It's like a new one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's one of my favorites. But it's funny because kind of a nerdy kid is playing this video game and his avatar is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and him going to this jungle game and falling in love with the girl he has a crush on, but he was too scared to approach. He stepped into that avatar version of him, which is this muscular, really basically a man with no weaknesses. And it completely changed him, and changed how he was thinking. So if you could step into your avatar highest version of you, what does that look like? And how do you feel? Just you stepping into that is empowering and imagining it. If you can imagine it, you've heard it. If you can conceive it, you can achieve it. If you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. It's true. So you're going to think of what is that like, and what advice does that version of you have for you? What advice does that version of my higher self have for me? If you don't have time to write down all the answers right now, you can write down the questions and answer them later. But I wanted to pose these empowering questions to help everyone who's listening set up their Chinese New Year powerfully. How much would my life change if I became increasingly more open to discovering and stepping into the highest version of myself? What do my biggest visions look like? So I want you to think, if money was no object, what would you want to happen? And what would you do if anything were possible? And this is you fantasizing in a way. It's like, if money was no object and anything was possible, what would I be doing? And just the fact that you even dare think of what it could be makes that more real. As you know, there's no fixed future. Well, all we have are infinite potential timelines. And we are going to talk about the Akashic records and the infinite timelines that we all have. And if you are in a new state of faith or positivity, or, believing you can flip timelines and skip timelines and move up into a kind of higher version future of your life based on your beliefs, thoughts, and where you're putting your energy and attention. The mind is a very powerful place. They say, don't go down that tunnel. There's no cheese down that tunnel. You can get into a mind loop, and it's a vicious circle. And, they've proven by science, we think, I think it's 86% of the thoughts we think every day are the same. You don't have to continue, thinking the same thoughts every day. It's helpful to kind of do stream of consciousness dumping in your journal. If the artist's way talks about every morning you write for 20 minutes stream of consciousness. And that really is a dump, a memory dump. You write out everything, what about this? And this person did this, and I shouldn't have done that. And what if I did this? And you just get all the junk out. And because you can't pour more coffee into a full coffee cup. So it's a great way to start your day, to let go of the thoughts that are kind of recurring and the monkey mind, and allow new thoughts and fresh ideas to come in. How can I take steps toward these possibilities, these new possibilities that you're imagining? Just put them into bite-sized pieces, even a small step every day in the direction of the life you want to live or of your dreams. Even like an hour a week is better than nothing. Some people really, really want to be an author or an actor or whatever it is, and they won't do it. Or a singer. They want to sing more than anything, and they won't ask, do you want to play with me? Should we just get a gig? Let's go to an open mic. Because it's like we don't ask for what we really want sometimes. And one small action step, like let's say, I'm going to write one chapter this week and show it to one person, or, just any small action steps gives us confidence to move in the direction of our dreams. What fears do I need to confront this year? Like I said before, fear is false evidence appearing real. So often those fears feel really, really real. But if this is really an interactive video game called life, or like a Candyland game, and we're meant to have fear so that we can overcome it and move through it, because you really can't lose this game, because there is no death. I mean, we do, the law of thermodynamics says energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only changes form. So if you know you can't fail, like many people are really scared of death, ultimately, like they're scared of public speaking, but they're equating it with death. You really cannot screw this game of life up too much. So you really got to just go for it. And like they say, when people are on their deathbed, they don't regret what they did do. They regret what they didn't do. How can I make my life more fun? The essence of life is fun. This is one of my favorites. Anyone who knows me, is my friend, knows that that is like what I'm here for, is to they say fun and play is the angel's way. There's that joy is the highest vibration. Fun is the highest vibration. Meditation's great, but if you can't laugh your hiney off and have an amazing time with your friends doing nothing and playing with Play-Doh or drawing, or just, I went to the Super Bowl with my friend. I went to a Super Bowl party with my friend Gomati in Venice. I'm not a fan of football, but since I'm going, I'm going to embrace it full on. And I'm screaming for the LA team. I didn't even know the Rams was LA. I had no idea. I thought it was like Oakland or something. That's how little I know about that's how little I know about football. But if I'm going to play the game called we're watching the Super Bowl and I'm being like an American that watches football, I'm going to play it all the way and have as much fun as humanly possible. And you better believe I did. I had a great time. What do I need right now to become more productive and more proactive this year? Sometimes you need a coach. I do coaching. I help people live the highest version of their life. Sometimes you need more friends to go places with, go to meetup, just say yes to invitations, there are all kinds of things you can do. And sometimes it is just those baby little action steps that bring you closer toward what it is that the life that you really want to live. So there's just some questions and food for thought that I wanted to bring up to help you start this year off, this new Chinese New Year, in a very empowering way. And now I'd love to talk about the Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records are basically, I always thought I would hear of people who did Akashic Records readings, and I would think to myself, oh, wow, that's like so difficult. Like you have to be trained. And like, I thought it was some mysterious thing that no one could understand. So and then I started reading about it, and I realized I've been doing Akashic Record readings since 2001. I just didn't know that's what it was. So what do you think the Akashic Records are? They say it's a hall of records where everything from every potential past, present, future, and every thought you've ever thought and words you've ever said are recorded, every intention, and all these parallel timelines and potential timelines are recorded. That's a lot of stuff, and no human can really absorb all that. But it's kind of like the mind of God is how I see it. So when I do readings, I'm tuning into the one mind of God that contains all that is, and tuning into everyone's higher selves, as well as connecting with them and seeing. And I can see past timelines, and I can go back, and the angels can help highlight, if a trauma happened in a young age, when was it that you made that choice or decision or had that thought that changed changed the trajectory of the rest of your life? You decided it's not safe, and therefore blah 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 blah. And this is Akashic Records, and and we all have the divine birthright to connect with our own Akashic Records through meditation. And we are going to do an Akashic Records meditation on this call that I learned from Matt Kahn that I thought was so empowering and powerful. So I'd love to lead us in that, and after that we'll take calls for readings. Before I talk about before we do enter the Akashic Records and do that invocation, I'd like to talk about just something that occurred to me since I was home. I live in LA, and I've been here for 18 years, and my family lives in Woodstock, Illinois. It's a suburb of Chicago, and some of my family lives in Chicago, but my parents live in Woodstock, and my dad just had his 83rd birthday a couple weeks ago. And my dad is incredible. He's from Ireland. He lived there until he was 25. He plays accordion. He still does gigs at age 83. He's in great health, thank God. And both my parents are. And on his birthday, like right before I went home, which is a little bit before his birthday, he told me for the first time the story of how he and my mom met, which I just never heard the real story. I mean, I heard that they met in Ireland, but I didn't really understand why he fell in love with her or what happened. So the reason I was thinking of this Akashic Records is like how we choose our own parents, and why we choose them for a reason. And it just occurred to me, life seems so random, but my dad finally told me the story, and it wasn't as romantic as I was hoping. So I would ask him when I was little, well, how did you fall in love with Mom? And he would say, my dad has an Irish accent. He's always a big joker. He's like, well, she was the last doll on the shelf, so I plucked her off. And I was like, what? I never understood. It wasn't like, your mother's an amazing woman, and I really wanted to be with her. He never answered that question seriously. And the story I heard is my mom graduated from college, and she got the money to get a boat trip to Ireland. She always wanted to go there, and happened to be in this small town of Kilcar where my dad was from. And he had been living in New York playing with a big band. He played accordion. at that time, and they met in this store. There's only a couple of businesses. My dad's town had 700 people in it. It's a really small town. And they just synchronistically happened to be in this store, and the shopkeeper introduced them, and it's not like they fell in love on the spot. My dad just said, oh, they'd love to take you to a dance. They had all these things that were like dance halls were really popular back then. So my mom went on a dance with him, and so, he said he kind of liked her, but he wasn't like totally in love or anything. And my mom went to New York and looked him up. And so my mom had to have the bravery to go to New York to see this guy. And my dad told me, when your mother came to visit me in New York, I was seeing this really gorgeous Irish, like, supermodel girl, and she was so beautiful. And your mother I was entertaining her, showing her in New York, and that girl he was dating came up to him and didn't throw water in his face, but like the same thing, like he was like really disappointed that he lost the supermodel just because he was stuck with my mom, which was another thing that wasn't very romantic to hear. But his perspective was so interesting. Like, what if he would have married the supermodel and blew my mom off? I would not be here. All these thoughts just going through my mind. I'm hearing his whole story. Then he tells me how he's going to LA with the big band to do shows, because he played accordion, and that was really big at that time, was the big band. And he had a show in Chicago on the way, on this like bus tour across the country, and stopped to visit my mom and ended up staying there. And then he and he never said I was madly in love with her or anything. And then it was like, and then we went skiing, and and we got in a huge fight, and then your mom left, and and I left, and I'm thinking I'm never coming back to Woodstock again. And my mom chased him down on the freeway. She literally followed him and pulled him over, like beeping, and said, I'm so sorry. And if my mom hadn't said that, I'm so sorry, I would not be here. So, I mean, I'm just bringing this up to show the randomness of life, but how important it was. Someone had a plan that, for against all odds, my parents got married. And I'm the oldest of 7 kids, and we're somehow all here, and we're all here for a reason. So it's really interesting, because it seems so random, but how can it be random? It's like the tapestry, when you look at it from one side, it's just a bunch of jumbled up, we say, how could this tragedy have happened? My sister died, and this car accident, and these challenges, and this and that. Everything happens for a reason. It is all happening perfectly. There is kind of a method to this madness. Like, if you take the acronym GOD, Grand Organized Design, you flip that tapestry over, it's a beautiful image. And that's like life. Our lives seem really messy. They seem random. They seem chaotic. And the truth is that there is a reason for everything, and that this is happening. Everything is happening for our growth and evolution. And we did make a lot of choices before we came here to Earth. I want to be these kind of genes. I want these parents because of the gifts and the attributes I'm going to get from both. I want to shine the light in this area. I want to stop this karmic pattern from happening in my ancestral lineage. We chose everything. We chose all our challenges. We chose all our circumstances, where we're going to be, and we end up here. So I was listening to Matt Kahn's Akashic record event, and I was really touched by it, and he led a beautiful meditation. And I want you to know, Akasha is where they get the word Akashic records from, and it means the substance from which all is formed. In other words, Akasha is all that is. So when we're going into the substance from which all things is formed, records, I mean, the human mind cannot conceive of infinite things, of everything that's been formed. I mean, it's just, we can't do that with our mind. We're going to be leaving our mind and our ego and that part of us that needs to know everything perfectly and understand everything. We're going to check that at the door, and we're going to take some deep breaths. And Claudia is going to play some nice meditation music in a moment. So we're going to enter the hallway of Akashic Records with reverence and respect, and we're going to ask that the records give us a gift or some knowledge or something that we can bring into our everyday lives. So I want you to breathe in and out deeply. And just connect. And connecting is just allowing that energy to flow. We're connecting to the all that is from which we came and which we're always connected. When we're not in the dualistic mind frame of, separation and all that stuff, we remember we're one with all that is, and we're just tapping into that all that isness. And our ego doesn't have to be in control. We're not going to miss anything or do it wrong. We're just going to let go of all those thoughts of the monkey mind stressing us out. Other people aren't better at this than you. You don't know what you're doing. We're leaving all those thoughts. You're a human being you're a spiritual being having human experience. You have the ability to breathe deeply and get into a meditative state and connect. So we're taking some deep breaths. You might see some visions. You might see light. You don't have to hurry. We're going to invite and allow, and we're going to let go of that I need to know or stressy feeling. And we're knowing how to approach the universe with this attitude of openness and willingness in the most sacred, beautiful, inviting way of I'm willing to listen. So we don't have to go into the Akashic records with that I need to know this and that. We're just going to be open to listening to what wisdom has to say. We sometimes get, cut off from that source and that ability to tune in to our guidance because we're demanding and needing to know instead of just allowing. Just like water flowing, through you, you're a channel. You become a channel. That's how we do readings. We become a channel for spirit and information to flow through. We let go of all resistance. We get out of our own way. So this invocation was channeled from the universe through Matt Kahn, and we're going to be opening this doorway to a new sacred reality. We're connecting with each other's hearts right now, just connecting with everybody who's on the call or listening online, and ground into the earth. And we were wishing for gifts and blessings for all beings on the planet, and for all that we're doing for ourselves, we're also equally doing for humanity itself. So take a deep breath and exhale for the well-being of all as we open the Akashic records. Father and Mother God, I clear away all doubts and distractions by entering the sacred hallways of the Akashic records. Thank you for using my thoughts, feelings, inspirations, and intuitions as a vessel for your highest will that I accept as the will of my own. I let go of all that is ready to depart and welcome all that is ready to enter my newly reborn reality that I co-create with your eternal heavenly grace. With no expectations or resistance to feeling, knowing, hearing, and remembering all that is, I surrender into the holy faith, the holy truth, the holy light, the holy love, and the holy perfection of sacred aligned communion. Please open the records of the soul, and I want you to say your name out loud. Sheila Maureen O'Donnell. Wherever you are, just say your name out loud. Providing me all the clarity, encouragement, healing, integration, and expansion that I require at this time. Thank you for listening to my concerns, providing clarity to my questions, and shifting my awareness into a recognition of my highest truth. In the name of the light, I step into the oneness of my appointed divine authority, and I welcome the knowledge of the Akashic records with openness, gratitude, humility, and joy. The Akashic records are now open. Please help my body open to receive this newly expanded vibration of consciousness, fully anchored into the timeline of my soul's highest potential, with more happiness, peace, ease, empowerment, and serenity than ever before. I'm ready to proceed. And just feel now as you're listening, that was the invocation of the Akashic Records, and we're now connected to the Akashic Records. So just take some deep breaths and feel into it. And we ask, please confirm that I'm connected to the Akashic Records by bringing me a sign, either mentally, emotionally, energetically, or telepathically. Please confirm that I'm connected to the Akashic Records now. And we now invite the Akashic Records to give us a message. If there's anything I need to know, whether expected or unexpected, whether popular to my ego or unpopular to my ego, in serving the truth, please bring me this clarity and message now. What do I need to know, Akashic Records? How can I serve your will? And even if it's not coming with words, it might just be a feeling washing over your body and receiving beyond the unspoken word, like a feeling or a telepathic message that you're receiving beyond language. It might be infused with the vibration that's bringing us more into wholeness. And we now ask the Akashic Records, please bring me an energetic download right now. Please open my heart and clarify and open my third eye. Please open my crown and allow my root chakra to be more open, balanced with an open heart, an open, steady solar plexus chakra, a strong, stable sacral chakra, a vocal and purified throat chakra, and a purified third eye chakra. Let all my energy centers be open and balanced so that I may feel that I'm being utilized by the universe, by divine appointment, as a carrier of energy that is awakening the planet. Please bring that energy into my energy field. Pour it down through my central channel. Please express it evenly throughout all my open chakras, and let me feel the perfection I am. And just feel. And now we're going to close the Akashic Records. Father, Mother God, thank you for clearing away all doubts and distractions through the sacred hallways of the Akashic Records. Thank you for using my thoughts, feelings, inspiration, and intuition as a vessel for your highest will that I have accepted as the will of my own. Thank you for helping me to let go of all that was ready to depart and help me welcome all that is ready to enter my newly reborn reality, co-created with your eternal heavenly grace. With no expectations or resistance to feeling, hearing, and knowing, and remembering all that is, I accept the holy faith, the holy truth, the holy light, the holy love, the holy sacred perfection of aligned communion. Thank you for opening the Akashic Records of this soul. Sheila Maureen O'Donnell, state your name here, first, middle, and last. And for providing me all the clarity, encouragement, healing, integration, and expansion that I required at this time. And thank you for listening to my concerns, providing clarity to my questions, and shifting my awareness into a recognition of my highest truth. In the name of the light, I embody the oneness of my appointed divine authority, and I thank the knowledge of the Akashic Records with openness, gratitude, humility, and joy. The Akashic records are now closed. So while I stay aligned with my spirit and eager to act upon my newfound knowledge, please ground me back into my body, fully anchored into this earth plane along the timeline of my soul's highest potential. Help me integrate this newly expanded vibration of consciousness with more happiness, peace, ease, empowerment, and serenity than ever before. I am ready to advance. So thank you for going with me on that journey of a brief introduction to connecting with the Akashic Records. This is something anyone can do. You don't have to be official. This is something that all human beings have, is the ability to tap into source, their higher self, and access the records to get information. We're going to be taking calls for reading soon. I'm going to just see who we have on the phone. Okay, listen to International Angels Network 6 days a week, where we explore everything metaphysical, mystical, spiritual, and much more. And we also take your calls for angel messages live on the air. If you're not able to join us live, you can catch the archived podcasts on iTunes, Pinterest, Audible, Player FM, Castbox, Podtail, Podchaser, Stitcher, and Google Play. Our online radio network has started a membership program to help spiritual entrepreneurs expand their businesses. International Angels Network offers ongoing support, coaching, and mentoring for all spiritual entrepreneurs worldwide for the low price of just $20 a month. You can learn more or register at internationalangelsnetwork.com/membership. I am Shishi O'Donnell, and I love empowering people through my one-on-one Divine Life coaching program. I also love helping people connect with their angels and guides and to get peace of mind through my angel readings. For info on my readings, events, and coaching packages, please visit my website, divineguidancereadings.com, or follow or friend me on social media. I'm Shishi O'Donnell. It's capital SHE-SHE O'Donnell on Facebook, or Angel Shishi on Instagram. So time for calls. Give us a ring at 516-453-9162. Make sure you press 1 on your phone keypad or Skype keypad if you'd like to speak with me or get a mini reading. And so, yeah, just feel free. I can see some people are listening. Just hold on 1 second. I'm opening another screen.
Hi, Shishi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
And what's your name?
I'm Donna from California.
You're Donna. So, hi. How can I help you, Donna?
Okay. I want to know what the angels were saying, because I got a message from my mom about 5 months ago. She's on the other side. And it came in that I was going to be rewarded. And then I was in my meditation, which I do every morning for about a half hour. And a message came in, and it came in just so lovingly and so much love. And it just filled me up and said it's coming soon. So I've been asking God to bring me a companion, a guy, for marriage, and also more abundance, so I can do more fun things that require money.
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny. This is the new moon and the month of love, so that's so perfect that it's coming soon. And when you said that, when you first started talking, I pulled the card, and it says, "See only love." So the angels want you to focus. Only love is real, and everything else is an illusion. And every person that you meet can be a new love, because you're connected with everything and everyone. You want a special companion. You want to meet one of your soul friends, your soul mates, quote unquote. We have many soul people in our soul group that we're meant to interact with that help us grow and evolve, but you're asking specifically for romantic partnership. So we're inviting, actually we're going to invite the romance angels to help you, and they're already helping you. You've been praying, and they're with you. And so, yes, dreams of abundance is the card I pulled on money, and asking about that. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Do you have a dream journal?
I don't.
So sometimes it's hard to remember our dreams, but the angels are communicating to us and our guides to help us. So it's important, if you wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning right away, write things down because I feel that they're giving you some ideas. And the other card I pulled on the topic is to take a divinely guided chance. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities. So they want you to let go of kind of the same old, and you've got to take a little bit of if not a leap of faith, let's even say a step of faith toward something new. So what do you do for work right now?
Well, I don't. I'm 64. I'm drawing on my Social Security. And then occasionally I work for my brother, though. I follow leads for a big company and get them to buy. And then I get a certain amount of money for doing that for each one that goes with them.
Okay, so that's a little bit of ways to support you. But that's not really how you meet people, right? Because you're doing that mainly over the phone.
Oh, no.
Right?
Yeah, I don't meet anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sort of hard. I mean, we can't expect the universe to drop your soulmate on you like a stork on your front stoop. You actually have to go places. So what I'm feeling for you is that there is a job. It's 64, by the way, is very young. So I'm not sure if you perceive yourself as old, but you're not old. So let's just do a little Jedi mind trick and like decide you're not old. And watch some of these videos about 91-year-olds teaching yoga and all that stuff. They're out there.
Wow.
I read them and I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to get to the gym. So because you see people that are bodybuilders who like started at age 60 and are now 75 and are like incredibly fit. You can change your life with one small, step. But I do feel there's a job for you that will help you meet people and be invited to certain places so that you can meet your love. So what interests you? What kind of skills do you have? Is there something you can go after? I'm not talking about pounding the pavement and all that. Your mom's going to help you and set it up synchronistically. You just have to be willing. Are you willing to change it up a little bit? You've got too much free time.
Yeah.
Let's get out there.
Well, I just spoke to someone at the spiritual church. We have a spiritual church, and they have classes every Sunday. So I'm going to see if I can develop my mediumship because I can see and hear the spirit.
Okay, great. You're in a class with other people. That's wonderful. And then you can maybe work in some kind of a shop or a psychic store or something where people will meet you and where you're seen, and you can go to events and be seen. It's really about going out into the world and being seen. And on this topic, I pulled the card entrepreneur, so that's right. Self-employment suits your disposition and intentions. Working for yourself allows you to better follow your intuition and divine guidance. We're your coworkers and teammates, meaning the angels, who remain loyally by your side to ensure your success. So that is something that can really help a lot of people, is giving them hope and helping them connect to departed loved ones. And that's something you're naturally good at. You're very naturally psychically gifted and connected. So you're just taking a little step to get the confidence to learn what you need to learn so that you can do it professionally. I think that's a great idea. And I've
signed up for quite a few classes, too. I've signed up for
that's amazing. So do it.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, you're on the right track, and I love that you felt that palpable love message from heaven. It is the truth. Only love is real. If as far as energetically preparing for this love, I would love for you to start hugging yourself at night and feeling this man's arms around you and feeling how beautiful and lovable you are and how precious you are, and giving yourself a lot of self-love to make way for this. But yes, there's no doubt the angels and your mom are helping set things up for you behind the scenes so that you can meet this person and have more money coming in as well and help people and be happy, feeling excited about you fulfilling your mission. Does that make sense?
Oh, sounds great.
Okay, Donna. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, Shishi.
And happy Chinese New Year. Okay.
Thank you.
Blessings. Thanks. Bye-bye. So we have Terry from New York City. Terry, are you there? Hello. Is that you, Terry? Okay. I can't hear her, Claudia. Should we go to Ellen? Maybe we can come back to Terry if you can tell her that we're on the line. Ellen from New York, are you there, Ellen?
Here.
Hi.
Shishi. I'm here. Hi.
Oh, is this Terry or Ellen?
This is Ellen.
Ellen, yes, great. Well, it's lovely to hear your voice and connect with you. How can I help you?
Well, I guess it would be great if you could give me a reading regarding moving forward. Kind of a long story, but I haven't been able to change jobs as I really, really wanted to. I don't want to get into the details. And so I'm looking at some other things to engage myself, get my creative juices flowing. And I'm starting to work on this fiction thing that I had worked on before, thought about before. So can you pick up a reading regarding either thing, a possible change of job, or whether this creative project I'm starting to pursue is worth pursuing?
Well, definitely the creative project is your, like, divine, creator energy flowing through you and must come to fruition, of course. That is definitely happening. But regarding work, I got two cards. One is face your financial fears, and integrity. So integrity, align your actions so they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. That tells me you're talking yourself into that you need to stay there and you don't want to stay there, and you don't want to, and you have financial fears about moving on. Is that right?
I would just like to have another job lined up before I leave.
Right. That's called being afraid of not being taken care of and not having faith. I mean, I don't want you to just jump up the cliff and have no money, but the card says when you're honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you have, in fact, nothing to fear, and every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. So you're caught in a loop. It's like you want to leave, but you want to have a job set up before you leave, and then you go back to it because you don't have the job and you're stuck there, right? So there has to be some really step or leap of faith taken where you're trusting. And in your case, I feel it's just thinking outside the box a little bit more than you have been. It's like you feel like there's only a few options, and there are actually a lot more options. And I do see you making a lot more money in less time, kind of a thing, doing something you love much more. And I do think your nature is writer and creative, and that you haven't been able to sustain yourself with that, but that potential future exists for you. So for you to step into that, that's your higher self. You need to, I want to say, throw caution to the wind, in that you're taking a bit of a risk. So is there someone you can, what I'm seeing the risk is you getting out of your comfort zone and asking for help, such as picking up the phone, asking someone who works somewhere that you could see yourself working, hey, do you know of any opportunities for me? Or do you feel comfortable doing that? Or does that seem very nerve-wracking?
That sounds very nerve-wracking. And I'm even trying, but when you said it, I started thinking like, do I know anybody working at any of these places I want to work at? And I couldn't think of anybody immediately. I'd have to give it some thought. Yeah.
But for some people, calling all their friends and saying, oh my God, I hate this job, I need a new one, let me know if there's anything, that's no big deal. But they're showing me for you don't love asking for help. You feel like you're putting people out. Is that right?
That is true.
They want to take that fear away from you, and let you know that there are many, even if you don't know the people personally, there are many people that might be doing a job, even author, that would love to mentor you and help you. You can say, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to write this book. Do you have any ideas for me? Oh, and by the way, there's an opening in our publishing house to do such and such that's like kind of just the right hours and getting you in the industry you want to be in. But it takes a little bit of courage and believing you're worthy enough to have people help you. And the angels are showing me that's a little bit missing. So we want to let go of fear that you're not going to be taken care of, and fear that you're a burden, or you're putting people out and you're kind of being a pain. You don't like being that. You like being kind of self-sufficient, and that's part of why you've stayed. It's kind of like you're lucky for whatever you have. That's kind of the way you're raised. Like you're not asking for too much. Is that sort of your personality?
Yes.
Well, I'm not trying to turn you into a different person, because there's a certain part of your personality that's beautiful and lovely and humble. But the angels want you to know, just like you would want to give your child everything they need, that the universe wants to give you what you need to be happy. It doesn't want you to be stuck in a loop that you're not happy in. You have to be open to receive, though, for it to be able to give to you. Right?
Yes.
So are you open to having the abundance angels and your angels intervene on your behalf and help open doors for you and shower blessings on you?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, great. No, that's like half of it is being willing. So put your arms up to the sky and say, I accept good.
I accept good.
Money. Success. Opportunities. Creativity flowing. Into my life right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, no, you're going to say thank you to your angels.
Oh,
you say it with gusto.
Thank you, angels.
Yes, thank you. Beautiful. So what they want you to know, Ellen, is you're very supported. You just have to believe it and know that you're worthy. You're God's precious child, and you're worthy of all the support and all the mentoring and all the help and all doors opening for you. You have to be a vibrational match to that which you're seeking. In other words, if you want something new, you've got to have the faith that something new can come. So right now I felt something shift in your being and things are going to change for you. Follow the synchronicities and follow that good feeling. Follow those curiosities. What would it be like to work here? What would it be like to do that job? I don't know. I have to talk to someone who does that job. How do you like your job? How did you get your job? You know what I'm saying? That innocent, childlike curiosity. You deserve to get some answers and help. That's what they're saying. So thank you for your call, love.
Thank you, Shishi.
All right. Have a beautiful evening. So we have Devetta from Texas. Are you on the line?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Devetta. How are you?
Hi.
What can I do for you, love?
I guess whatever message they want to give me about this coming year, if it's going to get better.
I don't know, Devetta. Is this coming year going to get better? Were you there during the call for the empowering questions?
Yes.
I want you to understand, honey, that life is not randomly happening to you. It's happening from you. So what do you intend to happen? What do you expect to happen? If you wrote down those empowering questions, and those answers are what are going to create your year going forward. You asking those deep questions of your soul and answering them and stepping into the possibility and the vision of what your life can experience. If you have a positive, expecting wonderful, expecting good to come your way, that is a vibrational match to good and success. It's like, how good are you willing to have it? We need to up the ante for you, Devetta, remembering you're a truly divine being that's very precious, and you deserve every good thing to come your way. I would recommend doing a little more work with the Akashic records, some more just searching on YouTube and finding some other meditations and getting into it where you're looking at maybe past life vows of poverty or different things you might have had that have affected your ability to have money and love and things like that, because we want to cut all those cords and recreate newly and step into a new future, the highest version of your life path, which you can do with your strong intention. Why? Because you're connected to all that is. You are a divine being and you're a powerful creator, and your intentions actually hold weight. So it's a new moon. It's a very powerful time. Start listening to the things that don't work and let go with faith. Let go of those things that aren't working to make room for the new things that will make you so happy. Like if you can just it's sort of like we're holding on to pebbles, like, oh, I love these pebbles. I don't want to let go of these pebbles. And the universe has these beautiful diamonds and rubies they want to pour in our hands, but we can't receive them because we're holding on to that old pebbles because that's the only life we've known. They want you to trust, let go, and move forward. You can do it. So thank you for your call, Devetta, and many blessings. And I want to thank everyone for listening. And I'll be back next Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a beautiful week. Next week we have a medium, Julie Loera, who is going to talk about her journey of automatic writing for souls who've crossed over to the other side. Have a great week.